आरवी तो असीस को लिंक शेयर कर सकती है। असीस को लिंक शेयर कर सकती है। हाँ कर दे, उसके नंबर पे करियो।
Hey, Arvi, should we start? Are we waiting for more people to join, or like what? How many have joined already? Okay, so we'll start. जैसे जैसे लोग join करते रहेंगे, they can join us. चल चुप रहिए. Yeah, you are. And I'll also request everyone to on their camera so that I can also see them and we can interact. Yeah.
Today's session is focused on understanding and managing anxiety, something so many of us struggle with but rarely talk about openly. We have an incredible speaker with us today who will guide us through practical ways to handle this.
Thank you so much, Avi. Likewise. So I'm audible and visible to everyone? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, I'm visible and audible to everyone, guys. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
looking
ma'am.
forward answers from the people who are present for the workshop. Obviously, Arvi and Akshar are also there, but guys, थोड़ा proactive होना पड़ेगा so that we can interact,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So as it is about learn how procrastination anxiety works and how they're related to each other, right? And we also understand the yeah. You guys can mute yourself तो शायद आप लोगों को आवाज आए बिकॉज शोर आ रहा
Okay,
है
ma'am.
अक्षरा की तरफ से
Yes,
भी है.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now it's good. You can send a thumbs up. ओके सो यहाँ पे हमारे पास साइकोलॉजी नॉन साइकोलॉजी बैकग्राउंड स्टूडेंट्स और डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फील्ड के स्टूडेंट्स हैं आई एम अज्यूमिंग राइट.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके तो कुछ बताना चाहेंगे फ्रॉम विच फील्ड दे आर इन राइट नाउ व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. एनी फ्यू ऑफ यू गाइस आई वुड लव दैट.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Nitya Sharma,
हाय
and I,
नित्या.
and I have just completed my 12th standard,
विच स्ट्रीम नित्या.
humanities, ma'am.
ओके दैट्स ग्रेट. सो साइकोलॉजी वाज वन ऑफ योर सब्जेक्ट.
Right, and I'm gonna pursue psychology in future as well.
चलो दैट्स ग्रेट दैट्स ग्रेट.
Right, ma'am.
व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स गाइस. I can see only Arush camera is on, guys. Can you please turn on the cameras? At least I can interact with you people. Else, it's gonna be a very boring lecture to all of you, and I don't want that. Yeah, now I can see good faces. Tamanna, Anushka. Hi, guys. So, any one of you can tell me what you are into right now, which class you are into, or which stream you are into.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Anushka and I'm in plus one and I am studying for coach. I'm doing for coaching, J coaching. I'm
JE
doing.
coaching. Oh, that's great, Anushka.
Yes.
So what was your stream? Like, have you studied psychology?
Actually, I have a little bit of knowledge about that, but I'm not so into this
Okay.
psychology.
Chalo, that's great. What about others? Okay, so let us start with the presentation. If anyone have any question, they can write it down after the end of the presentation. I'll take few questions that you guys have. Okay, we'll use both the mode English plus Hindi so that it will be easy understandable to all of you. So firstly, we start about what is procrastination. Does anyone one of you know uska Hindi ka matlab kya hota hai procrastination, or what does procrastination term means? Any answers, guys? So basically, procrastination is the voluntary delay of an intended action, despite expecting to be worse off for the delay. That we intentionally or unintentionally delay the work, but voluntarily. Okay. And when we talk about anxiety, anxiety is a mental state characterized by excessive worry, overthinking, fear, or nervousness that can interfere with daily functioning. There are various symptoms of anxiety that we talk about in the later section. So many people experience both, often without realizing how deeply connected both procrastination and anxiety are. And this presentation today will go to explore the link between anxiety and procrastination, why the brain starts to avoid, and what strategies can break this loop of procrastination. Okay, so पहली बार हम बात करते हैं why the brain procrastinates under stress. बहुत ज्यादा समय में स्ट्रेस होता है. Why we actually procrastinate? Anyone have the answer for that? Like, you usually do procrastination? Anyone wants to share their experience of procrastinating things? Anything? कभी करते हो छोटे मोटे कामों में या हर चीज में प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट? एनी वन ऑफ यू? देयर इज नो जजमेंट, गाइस. आई वुड लव टू हियर फ्रॉम यू गाइस. Okay, so basically in our brain there are few like brain parts. The brain is wired to prioritize immediate comfort over long-term rewards, especially when it is under stress. So when it's under pressure, there is a part called amygdala, that is emotional center. It becomes hyperactive during the stress period, and it's signaling the danger, that some there is a sign that some danger is happening. Even it's just a task that I want to complete something, मुझे एक task पूरा करना है, it's a danger, and my brain is sending to the amygdala, that is the emotional center. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning and self control, is underperforming when it is stressed. Both work side by side. This brain imbalance makes us more likely to choose short term relief, that is avoidance. We'll do it 10 minutes later, we'll do half an hour later, we'll do it after a day, over long term gain, that is the task completion. So, the long term gain is we are completing the task, and the short term is let's avoid it, we'll do it after half an hour, we'll do it like after a day or so. So we focus on the short-term relief rather than long-term gain. And deadlines may trigger a flight, fight, or freeze response instead of focused actions. We know what is flight, fight, or freeze response, guys. Fight means हमें कोई problem आई, we are directly handling it. Flight, we are running away from the problem. And freeze is we don't know what is happening, we just stuck in the moment. So it is referred to as fight, flight, or freeze response. Okay. Then how anxiety fuels the avoidance and the procrastination cheese. So anxiety creates a perception of threat around the task. Example, people may feel there's a fear of failure. Okay, while I'll do this task, maybe I'll fail, so let's not do this. Or maybe there'll be a judgment about it, so let's not do it. Or maybe I want it to be so perfect that I don't want to do it because else I'll get failure, so let's not do it. There are many examples to it. So उस threat की वजह से और fear की वजह से एक task के problem में लोग फंस जाते हैं. They don't want to start it. And that's how the anxiety period starts. Okay, and this leads to task avoidance as a coping mechanism. I'll start avoiding the task to cope from that fear, to cope from that anxiousness, offering short-term relief from emotional discomfort. Perfectionism and fear of not meeting high standards can cause paralysis. Negative self-talk. There is a one thing which is called negative self-talk. Basically, you are start talking negatively about yourself. For example, I have written in a code, I'll never do it right, or I'll not be able to do, or I am not having that ability to do it. These are not negative self-talk that you do to yourself. It heightens the anxiety. It fuels the anxiety and making it harder to stop. This relief from anxiety through avoidance unintentionally rewards the procrastination. Again, I'll repeat it. This relief through avoidance, when we are avoiding it, it is unintentionally rewarding the procrastination and strengthening the behavioral loop. Now, if I talk about the loop and the cycle, there is a round cycle of procrastination. It's not a hierarchy, it's not a ladder, it's a cycle. First is low motivation. Then, if we have low motivation, we avoid our task. Then we have the feeling of guilt, shame, low self esteem, anxiousness, low confidence, low self worth. And then we feel even lower motivation, and then we say and avoid the task. So it's always go loop by loop. Okay, like many of you will find yourself in the whole loop, you're stuck in the loop, or someone will find you like they're stuck in the two stages, for example low motivation or task avoidance, or guilt and shame and task avoidance. या तो कुछ stages में फंसे होंगे या overall फंसे होंगे, but everyone is still there in the loop. And now we work on how to break it. We'll go step by step. The first part is the low motivation, जो हमने डिस्कस किया था. The first stage is low motivation. So how to break it? Always remember, low motivation में क्या होता है? The person feels there is no drive or energy to start the work. I don't want to start it. I don't feel that I want to start my project. I don't feel to start my tuition classes. I don't feel to start my work, to start my presentation. So the first thing that you remember is action before motivation. हम लोगों को क्या लगता है कि वी वील हैव दैट मोटिवेशन एंड देन वील डू एक्शन, कि मैं मोटिवेट होंगी तभी मैं काम करूंगी. बट इट्स द अदर वे अराउंड. When you will do the action, then only you can start feeling motivation. Always remember, it's the other way around. Action creates motivation, it's not the way around. Always remember that in your mind. The second thing that you still need to remember is 10-minute rule. 10-15 minute rule बोलते हैं हम इसको. 5-10-15 minutes rule. Just start for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then take a break for another 10 minutes. Then start for 15 minutes, then take a break for another 10 minutes. ये रूटीन जब धीरे धीरे लाओगे तो लो मोटिवेशन वाला स्टेज छूटेगा. एंड इट ऑफन स्टार्ट रिड्यूसेस द रेजिस्टेंस लेवल. जो आप काम नहीं करना चाह रहे हो, इट्स गोना हेल्प यू टू रीस्टार्ट योर work for 15 minutes, take a break for 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 10 minutes. That's how you're going to do all the tasks you have for today. The next thing is values clarification. Always remember, you ask yourself, if I'm doing any work, why does this matter to you? Even a little bit. Why I'm doing it? It's going to make any difference to my life or not? It's going to contribute to any my growth or not? Or do I have to complete it on an urgent basis, or it is important task? Always ask of values clarification questions. And the fourth is self-talk reframing. पिछले slide में I talked about negative self-talk जो हम खुद से करते हैं. Reframing is when we are reframing our sentences. For example, I have given an example. There is a statement, I don't feel like it. If any one of you asked me something and I said, I don't feel like it, I don't want to do it. Instead, what I can say, I don't feel like it, and I can still take one small action to do it. It's a reframing thing. In psychology, or even if you're not a part of a psychology student, it's very, very important in your life to reframe every negative sentence you're having. Always remember, use the sentence, I don't feel like it, but uske aage jodo that I can still make a small action to change it, or to do one action to contribute it. You will start feeling better and you will break this loop of low motivation. Okay? Abhi tak, yahan tak anyone is having some doubt? Guys? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you told all about making yourself disciplined, making yourself happy by your own, but sometimes it also happen that some person whom you trust a lot, and some person you feel that is everything for you, like my parents, if they say something wrong about me, or they tell me that you can't do this, you behave very rudely, you are useless and all, then I feel really low after that, and then I'm not able to make myself stable um until they say me that no you're good. मतलब
Okay.
जिसने
So right?
who hurted me, that person have to say that okay, now you are good and all, and then I feel motivated again.
Okay, so what's a good name?
Gozia.
Gozia. So Gozia, right now, so what we are talking is procrastination and anxiety, how they're related. The point that you're saying is a very different thing. Okay, what I can tell you is, for this part you can connect with me, because that is not related to the procrastination thing. That is a different emotional regulation part that we are talking about. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
and then I can better send you a voice note or a text that I can help you to understand key whatever you're feeling and how to overcome it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
But if procrastination thing I'm referring, procrastination and anxiety, uske regarding anyone have any question, guys?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Nitya, hi.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, in daily life, as a student, I have experienced that whenever I wanted to study, so
Yeah.
I always used to look at the time that when the clock will hit 9:30, then I'll start it. But when it turns that it's 9:31, then I'll feel like no, 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 no. Now I cannot do this
Yeah,
work.
I'll start at 9:40 or
Yeah.
45. Yeah.
So this is procrastination, like
Yeah,
we do on
exactly.
the
This
daily
is.
basis, right?
For that thing, I suggested the second part, the 10-minute rule. You don't go by the clock or the minute, 31, 32, 33. Go by the timing. If you're starting at 31,
Right.
okay, so start 31 till start. I'll do for 10 minutes and then I'll take a break for 5 minutes. Then I'll do for 15 minutes, then I can take a break for 5 minutes. Start by minutes, not by the
Right.
time. There's a difference. And this is
Right,
not in
ma'am.
a student life. Right now, if where I am sitting, I also do this thing. If something is gonna hit, for example, I have to start my presentation at 2 and it's 2:09 or 2:08. I feel it's not a time. Let's start at 2:15.
Right.
That's not how it's gonna work. है ना? तो हमेशा go by the minutes कि अगर मैं 2:09 पे भी start कर रही हूँ, I'll start for 15 minutes, I'll put an alarm and then I'll take a break for 5 minutes.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, just a second, guys. Just a second. Yeah, guys. ठीक है, Nitya, you got your answer?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Now we go to the second stage, guys. The second stage is task avoidance. Okay, in which the person delays the task seeking comfort or escape. We actually don't do it because we are too comfortable with that space. Okay, let's avoid it because we want that escapism. Usme bhi we have four stages, four things that we can do. First is chunking, that always break the task into micro steps. For example, you guys have completed your 12th, let's assume, and you have to prepare your CVs or cover letters or something like that. So मेरे to do list में काम है कि I have to write my CV. अब that is a very huge task for me and I'll start procrastinating. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. Apart from it, what I can do is I can break that into the micro steps. For example, the first step I will write is to open the laptop. The second is to find a good software to make a CV. The third is to collect my experience, the things that I have done. And the fourth is to finish the CV. I have break the task into micro steps, and as soon as I'll do the micro steps, I'll take it, the more confident I feel to complete the task. The second is the environmental restructuring. It is very important, guys. Wherever you are sitting for your learning part, for your reading part, for your studying part, remove every distraction, every clutter, phone distraction or other distractions, so that you can create the focus zone, which is the third part. And creating a focus zone is very, very important. These two parts are interconnected, the focus zone and the environmental restructuring. And the fourth is implementation intention. सोच लिया, that is not always right. वो implementation का पूरा आपका like एक intention होना चाहिए कि I have thought it, now I have to do it. The two things are very important in psychology. One is reflection. For example, in today's presentation, what you have learned, this is the reflection part, that you are thinking about it, and the implementation is you start doing it. For example, if I feel like scrolling instead of writing, I'll take 3 deep breaths and open the document again for my CV instead of go to scrolling and take all the time. Okay, the next stage is guilt and shame. When I talk about guilt, shame, low self-esteem, low confidence, anything जो हमें आती है आफ्टर द टास्क अवॉइडेंस, मैंने अवॉइड कर दिया टास्क तो आई फील वर्थलेस, आई एम नॉट I'm not worthy, maybe that's why I'm avoiding it. That's the stage. How to overcome this stage, how to break this loop? After avoiding, the person feels worthless, lazy, or incapable. So the first thing that we do is self-compassion exercises. Basically, we have to understand, we have to be compassionate toward ourselves, like we are compassionate towards our friends who just had a breakup, or who had difficulty in studying, who is not cleared any exam, or something like that. We are compassionate towards them. So everyone struggles with motivation. I'm not alone. That is a self-compassion statement. Then another statement example is, this is hard, but I'm still trying. Like, the second step is normalizing the struggle. Whatever you're feeling, procrastination is not a character flaw. It is a coping mechanism, like I said in the previous slide also. Always remember guys, procrastination कोई आपके character में problem नहीं है. It is a coping mechanism. You're doing it to cope from few things, and that's why you're doing it. For example, like we discussed, fear of failure. I don't want to get the failure tag. That's why I'm coping with it, and that's why I'm procrastinating. So you have to normalize that struggle. You don't have to make it a half-hazard wala thing in your mind so that you start overthinking about it. The third part is reflect without judgment. For example, start asking yourself, what happened? What lead to avoidance? What might I try differently? What's going to happen differently? And the next is name the emotion aloud. Whatever feeling you have, start labeling the emotion. There is you can go to Google and search a wheel of emotion. There's an emotion wheel. There's a n number of emotions you have there. Start naming and labeling the emotion, and it reduces its intensity, and it helps you to create distance from it. And the last stage is, even you feel lower motivation, always remember to celebrate small wins, even if it's just opening a book or writing one line in a day. It's still a victory. You wanted to procrastinate, but you opened a book and write a line. So celebrate that win. Start doing behavioral activation. For example, schedule pleasurable or energizing activities. You can listen to music, you can go to walks, some like to gymming, some like to drawing, art, painting, sunlight, anything. You can track progress visually. Aajkal to anything is, on phones. So use habit trackers, checklists, daily logs, basically to build your motivation level. And the last is to pair task with comfort. Do the task with a cozy blanket, warm drink, or favorable background music. Associate action with comfort. ये एक example है, but the main point is action with comfort. That is the main point. Okay, now when we learn the four stages and how to break it, now we'll reframe the cycle as a ladder. It is very important, guys. Earlier it was a cycle, now we are making it as a ladder. First is act. You have to act, you have to do any action. Then you will feel better, then you will gain confidence, and then only you will build motivation. Okay, motivation tabhi aayegi when you start from acting, when you start from action. This is how you reframe the ladder. ओके, नाउ ब्रेकिंग द साइकिल. अगर मैं उसका छोटा पार्ट आपको दोबारा बताऊं, जो हमने ऊपर पूरा डिस्कस किया, सेट द माइक्रो गोल्स, दैट इज ब्रेक डाउन टास्क इनटू टाइनी मैनेजेबल एक्शंस टू रिड्यूस द ओवरवेलमिंग फीलिंग. यूज द पोमोडोरो टेक्निक. इट्स अ वेरी ग्रेट टेक्निक गाइस. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This trains focus without burnout. Okay, यहाँ पे 25 है, you can do for 15, 10, half an hour, that's up to you guys. Establish routines, consistency in daily structure, minimize decision fatigue, remove distractions, like I said, editing clutter, and visual cues. Use checklists, calendars, and visual trackers to boost motivation. Yeah, so the next part is cognitive approaches, guys. Cognition is basically referred to our mind, our brain. So challenge distorted thoughts, like I said, negative self-talk. Replace, I have given example, I must be perfect, with doing something is better than doing nothing. It's a replacement thought. Practice self-compassion. We have already talked about it. Avoid harsh self-criticism and recognize that mistakes are part of growth. Thought logs. You can start tools to record and reframe anxious thoughts. Thought diary you can maintain. Always at night, start maintaining, your diary. Okay, what are my good thoughts? What are my negative thoughts? And after a week, start opening it and start seeing the pattern. I say to my clients also, it's a very good activity. And the next is the reframe stress. View pressure as a signal of importance, not danger. This reduces threat perception and it boosts our performance. Okay. The next is breathing and grounding techniques, how to reset yourself. So the first is the box breathing. It's like a box. For example, 4 seconds ka break, then you inhale for 4 seconds, then you stop for 4 seconds, then you exhale for 4 seconds. Inhale for four, hold for four, exhale for four, hold again for four. And it had to be repeated to calm the nervous system. Okay. The next is 5 4 3 2 1 grounding technique. Again, in psychology, it's a very common and good technique to calm yourself down, to reset your system. Firstly, wherever you are sitting, start identify 5 things that you see जो मुझे अभी इस रूम में दिख रही है. 4 things that I can touch. For example, my laptop, my table, my earphones, or my charger. 3 things that I can hear: AC, fan, TV. 2 things that I can smell, the fragrance, and anything other else. And 1 thing that I can taste. And two, which will bring you to the present moment. It's very effective technique. The next is progressive muscle relaxation. Always, when you are stressing yourself about procrastination, about anxiousness, and everything, just sit or sleep or relax on a sofa or a couch or a bed. Always tense your muscle. Tense is clenching down your wrist or your body or your legs, and then like count for 10 seconds, and then relax your muscles. Then again count for 10 seconds, then again relax. It will start, you know, आपके बॉडी से स्ट्रेस को धीरे धीरे रिलीज करना स्टार्ट करेगा. इट्स अ वेरी गुड मसल रिलैक्सेशन टेक्निक. एंड द लास्ट इज सेफ स्पेस विजुअलाइजेशन. Mentally visit a calming place you feel secure in. You can listen to podcasts, you can listen to YouTube videos. They are very, very nice YouTube videos for visualization. You can just put earphones on, close your eyes, and just do that visualization. It's not a meditation, guys, it's visualization. दोनों चीजों में बहुत फर्क है. Okay. So now you're coming to the end of the presentation. So anxiety and procrastination are deeply connected. The more I procrastinate, the more I feel anxious due to the brain structure, due to my self-esteem issues, due to my worthiness issues, and many more stuff. It fuels one another. The brain's wiring under stress makes avoidance a tempting but harmful habit. Okay, and breaking the cycle requires both behavioral techniques. Example, like I said, micro goals, task को micro steps में बांटो, cognitive restructuring, reframing thoughts we have discussed, and breathing and grounding techniques always provide you quick resets during the moments of overwhelm. Professional help is available, like on the later part of the session when we're about to quit. I'll also put my number into the chat box, or I'll ask Arvi to write my number. Any one of you can reach it to me if you want to talk about anything, about your mental health, about self-help tips or anything. I'm more than happy to guide you guys. The next thing, always remember that awareness plus action equals to freedom from the cycle. Always remember, awareness plus action is equals to freedom from the cycle that we have discussed. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for your time and for everything. It was lovely having the interactive session. I'll hand over the mic to Arvi. And also, Arvi, can you please write my number in the chat box so that people can get it? And the last thing is, I want everyone to turn on the cameras and we can click a good photograph so that we can put on my Instagram, guys. Also, that will be really helpful for me. Just take a photograph. Yeah. Anyone of you have questions, just guys go ahead with.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Talika. Akshra, I'll ask you to एक बार थोड़ा mute your mic.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Talika. Now tell me, please.
You mentioned before that people use procrastination as a
So,
coping mechanism because they are scared of failure. So, how does one come to that conclusion when procrastination ultimately leads to, failure?
no, it's not always only the failure. Procrastination का हर इंसान के लिए, every individual will have a different reason for procrastination. That fear of failure was one of the reason. For example, maybe I'll procrastinate because I am too perfectionist. तो काम खराब ना हो जाए इसलिए मैं procrastinate कर दूंगी. Some people will procrastinate because there is a fear of failure. It is not. It is only the fear. Firstly, when you're talking about procrastination, guys, always remember, just sit with yourself for 5-10 minutes and start thinking about what is my reason for procrastination. Once you got that reason, then only you can work upon it. Without knowing the reason, you cannot start working on procrastination part.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Tarika. Well, who was the next one? Yeah, Anushka, yeah, please ask me.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Anushka.
Ma'am, you mentioned about the Pomodoro technique,
Yes.
and I wanted to ask, like, I have tried that technique, but in the break timing, which will take for 5 to 10 minutes, what to actually do according in that break so that you don't feel burnout in the next working session.
Don't scroll or watch your phone, watch TV, or have a deep conversation with anyone, or have a 5 minute ke, theek hai, 5 minute ka break hai, let's have a conversation with my friend. No, that 5 or 10 minute break you're taking for yourself. What I'll suggest is go for a walk, or listen to calm music if you want. If you want to have your coffee or tea, just have it. But don't do any work which is stressing you out, because that 5 minute needs a break, and a break means when you're not stressing about something. It can be anything. Even talking to a friend sometimes can drain me. I'll not do it in them 5-10 minutes. Rather, I'll just go and take a walk at a roof, or I'll just stretch my body, or I'll just go and make a coffee for myself. That's how you utilize that 5-10 minutes break, guys, in the Pomodoro technique, or also the 5-10 minutes technique that we use. Always remember to use that break as a self relaxation thing for 5-10 minutes, not for doing any other task. एक काम से दूसरे काम पे जाओगे तो again it will put a strain on you. That 5 minutes is a break, and break means you're not doing anything. You can just close your eyes or lie down. You can start listening to music, you can start singing to music, you can start dancing, something to just make your body and mind relax. That's it.
But ma'am, doing work after the break, the motivation just wears off.
Anushka, I'm not able to
Like
hear,
wears
like
off.
I'm,
So how
your
to
voice
bring
is
that
not
back in
audible.
that case? Ma'am, I'm saying that in the break, after the break, we have to have our next session, work session. So during that session, the motivation decreases. Like it keeps on decreasing as we keep on going towards the work session.
Okay,
So how to keep it constant?
like I said, we have to, I'll also share, matlab, RV will share the presentation with you guys. The step we have discussed now for breaking the loop for 4 stages: the low motivation, the task avoidance, and guilt shame. Remember ki every step is a habit forming. The more you practice, the more you'll form a habit. Then only you will start, you know, your brain will start acknowledging it ki okay, now I have to go by this and this. Guys, always remember, brain is very easy to fool. It's very easy to fool. जब तक आपके हाथ में आपका ब्रेन का कंट्रोल होगा, यू कैन अचीव एनीथिंग. तो ब्रेन को भी टाइम लगता है अंडरस्टैंड होने में कि ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल समवन इज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर नीट एग्जाम. मेनी पीपल हैव दिस इशू कि हम फोकस नहीं कर पाते. इट नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम, अ नीड ऑफ अटेंशन, बट नहीं हो रहा. 1 महीना 2 महीने में नहीं होता. इट्स अ प्रैक्टिस दैट यू स्टार्ट डूइंग इट. इट्स अ हैबिट दैट यू स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग. एंड दैट्स हाउ इट ऑल्सो वर्क्स विद एंक्शियसनेस एंड प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन. Always remember, जो मैं पीपीटी दे रही हूँ, you will start reading it. It's a very self-explanatory PPT. When you start doing it weeks and weeks and weeks, you start making it as a habit, the more easy it will be get to you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Anushka. Yeah, Tanishka, what's your question? Hello, Tanishka, am I audible? These are some network issues from her side. Tanishka, you can also write your question in the chat box so that I can read and I can let you know. Guys, if any one of you don't want to open the mic and just tell, they can please ask any questions if you have. I'll open the floor for 5 minutes so you can ask in the chat box. And RV also shared my number in the chat box so you can reach out to me for any other thing or the session or few stuff or your guidance or anything, guys. I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, RV. So now I'll hand it over to you. Thanks. Guys, like I said, if few of you can turn on their cameras, we'll take a good photograph of ourselves. Please, guys, I'll be really more than happy to see your good faces. Yeah, I can see Tripta, I can see Arush, RV, Akshara. Guys, please, if you can turn on your cameras for just a single minute. Oh, that's nice. That's great. Shrishti, Manu, if you guys can. Chalo, we'll have a good pose. We'll have a good smile. Okay, I'll not be able to tag all of you, but I'll tag the page itself. Okay, guys? Chalo. Let's have a good photograph, guys. Smile. Chalo, that's nice, guys. It was really, really good to talk to all of you. So, RB, I'll just take your leave and thank you so much for this day and for calling me today for this workshop. I love to be the part of humor workshop with you guys. Okay.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you so
ma'am.
much, Aksha. Yeah, Nitya.
After this meeting ends,
Yeah.
can I please call you? I do have some queries.
Yeah, sure. What you can do is right now, so I have one session with me, Nitya. You can
Right.
put your queries to me in the chat or like in the WhatsApp. I'll just reply to you as soon as I'll get free. Will that be fine?
Right, ma'am. That'll be perfect. Thank you
That's
so
great.
much.
Guys, जिसको कुछ doubt हो, they can send me a normal WhatsApp text. I'll reach out to them as soon as possible. Okay. Chalo, Arvi. I'll take your leave. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye, guys.